This is the all-new ASUS touchscreen 2-in-1 Q524U, and if you look online, every place it's a 524. It's a Q524UQ notebook PC. Basically, what I'm doing is removing the 2 TB standard hard drive. It's the magnetic hard drive that's slow as hell, even at 7,200 RPMs, and I'm replacing it for a PNY CS 1311 SSD. I'm putting a 960 gig SSD drive in. It's not the super fastest hard drive, but it was 250 bucks. So it's got like 540, I don't know, megabits per second average. Anyway, the back of the ASUS laptop, this whole laptop is all metal. It's got a really nice touch screen. I bought it a couple months ago, and basically here are the screws. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rubber feet are just held on by stickers. Don't make the mistake I made and try to remove them, because you'll damage the rubber foot. In fact, this is all rubber, and I kind of chipped the little edge here. These ones up front, this is the front of the laptop, and obviously it's upside down, because you can see by the sticker. Anyway, these feet are not rubber, they're plastic. They feel rubber, but they're not. Nice stereo system, really nice laptop. I wouldn't recommend it as a tablet though, it's just too big. 15.6 inch, it's just too big, and the software to change it from tablet mode to portrait mode and whatnot, it's just wonky. It doesn't work very well. Other than that though, the hinges are super heavy duty. Really nice setup. Anyway, removing the base, removing the bottom. It's all metal. It's very difficult at first to pop loose. You're going to need some kind of a screw removal kit, and you need a star bit. I think it's like a T4 size star bit. Yeah, it's a T4. If you look right here, you can see that star bit is very tiny, and you got to be really careful not to strip the star bit screws, because the opening for the star bit to go down into the screw is very shallow. You can really strip them really easy, making it completely impossible to take this base off the bottom. Anyway, you're also going to need some of these tools like this. This is a flat, basically like a pick. You're going to need this, and you have to be super careful not to scratch. Anyway, you get in here in between the chassis and right here in the base, and you just basically pop it loose like that all the way down, but you have to do the back of it near the exhaust first, and then you can start popping the rest of it, because if you do it wrong, you'll bend this. And I haven't priced this on eBay yet or anywhere else. I think it's so new that it's not even out for sale on the, like on eBay or any place else. You have to order it directly from ASUS, which it's probably, I would guess, around 200 bucks for that thing, just for the metal base. It's all aluminum. Anyway, once you get it off, it's super difficult at first to get off, but once you pop everything loose, you really have to be careful of all these little plastic, they're clips. There's one. Oh, there we go. Just screw up my whole base. Anyway, there's these little tiny plastic clips, and you have to be super careful of these things to not break them. Let's see if I damage the base of it. Doesn't look like I did, but you can tell by just me dropping it like that it's all metal. It's really nice, all aluminum. Super nice, super nice. Anyway, I would recommend that you put it basically skin up so you don't damage it. Anyway, here it is. Other than that, I mean, they don't make it too easy to replace the RAM. Obviously, there's no RAM here. There's an internal battery that's not replaceable. I mean, it is replaceable if you tear this thing open. And if I'm not mistaken, you have to take out the motherboard to replace the RAM. It's not, I don't believe it's underneath this little port here. This little metal thing. I don't believe it's under there. I mean, I haven't tried that yet. I think that's the Wi-Fi. I'm not going to try to remove that at all. I believe the RAM is on the other side of the board. So we can access the hard drive here, which is all I want to do. It's got 12 gigs of memory. That's enough for me. It's a gaming laptop. It's got 2 gigs of memory. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'll swap out the hard drive and be right back with you. So I've removed the screws from the hard drive chassis, and the hard drive is literally nice and loose, real easy to pull up. Oops. Real easy to pull up, and there it is. Okay, and then what we do is carefully pull this tab and just pull it straight up off the board like that, and it's got like a little snap-in connector. So real easy, and that is the 2 terabyte standard hard drive. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew it from this chassis and go ahead and screw in the PNY SSD. It's going to also free up a lot of weight. This hard drive is really heavy. It's real heavy. The SSD is plastic, the chassis is plastic, and the inner parts are obviously integrated circuit. So I'm going to save some weight by doing this as well. I'm going to decrease my capacity by half, but I don't care. Honestly, I dump everything to an external drive anyways. An SSD will boot in 10 to 15 seconds. Whereas the standard hard drive with Windows 10 takes a minute and a half almost, just like Windows 8, just like Windows 7. With an SSD though, it cuts it way down to less than 30 seconds. And I'm going to put Windows 7 on this, so that's going to be a bear because I don't know that there's drivers for Windows 7 for this laptop yet. But I'll make it work because I hate Windows 10. Alright, there you go. We'll be right back with you. So there we go. I put the new 960 gig, or 1 terabyte basically, PNY SSD into the chassis. Super easy. I'm going to slide it back into the laptop port, and I'm going to carefully reseat the ribbon cable. Sticks right down in there, snaps back down. Real simple, real easy. I'm going to go ahead and screw this back together and basically put the back onto the laptop, the bottom onto the laptop, screw it back in place, and be done. So that's sort of a base or bottom removal and hard drive swap on an ASUS Q524U or Q524UQ. There you go. It's not that difficult. Getting the bottom off initially is the tough part, and you have to be super careful. It's not like plastic where you can kind of wrench on it. You have to be super careful not to bend it or scratch it, and or tweak it with your metal tools. So there you go. Good luck. Rate this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please.